What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another tactic video. And today we've got a very good one. It's more of a counter-attacking tactic, but trust me, you concede hardly any goals and our win percentages are sort of 87%, 86% plus. So definitely worth a go. And as always, the link to the tactic is going to be below in the description, so you can go right to it and download it. And let me know in the comments how it works for you. We're not going to waste any time, we're going to get right into it. So, the first team that I done it with was PSV Eindhoven. And again, a team in obviously the Dutch league that isn't necessarily the favourite to win it. Obviously, Ajax would be the clear favourite, but we made this league our own. And we not only that, we also obviously won the Beker Trophy and we won the Cruyff Shield as well. And also we had a bit of a poor run in the Champions League qualifying, but we actually ended up winning the Europa League. So, I mean, This formation is honestly really good for pretty much any team. I tested it with a team that isn't favourite, and I also tested it with a team like Liverpool, which it is with Liverpool, who obviously are one of the favourites to win the title. And PSV, honestly, are a great team in real life, but especially on this game, usually it's Ajax that does clinch it, but we managed to completely turn that around, as well as win, obviously, the Europa League, which is a massive accomplishment for the club. The only player I signed was Sesko. I will make that clear and be completely honest about it. But it was actually Maduki that actually, you know, got top goal scorer with 38. I'm obviously a fantastic player here. Very, very good player. But him aside, we're going to review this season, go over the data hub, things like that. And then after that, we're going to go into the Liverpool one, compare seasons, see how we done, and then I'm going to do a full tactic breakdown, because obviously I can explain the roles, explain how things work, etc, etc. But what I will say is, with this save, I've got the stats up here. So total for the season, we played 61 games, including friendlies, and we won 53 of those games and lost or drawn 8. So that gives us a winning percentage of 86.89. So 87% as you obviously round up. So 87% win rate in this league, including the friendlies, including the league, including the Europa League as well. So, you know, a very, very impressive, definitely an impressive run from us there. And if we go into the schedule, we're going to have a little look here. So the friendly started off very well, and then we played a couple challenging teams here. It didn't go great. Pretty much didn't. The Champions League just wasn't for us. I mean, it's simple as that. But when it comes to like the league, I mean, we were dominating. Quite a few clean sheets in here. You can see here, obviously, you got one, so I'm not going to count them all because there's loads. But there wasn't really a game which we didn't really dominate. But this formation is counter-attack. It's absorbing pressure, so you're not going to thump every team by 5 or 6. There's quite a few games where maybe we scrape a 1-0, a 2-0 possibly. But as you can see here, it's completely flawless, going all the way down. And we actually end up beating Napoli there in the Europa League final, which, you know, is a massive, massive fixture in itself. A very difficult team, but we actually scraped that, as you know, in a 2-1 with a 87th minute winner from our left back. So I mean, overall, this formation not necessarily is going to get you tons and tons of goals. In this division it did, 'cause obviously there are some weaker teams in this division. But let's go into the data hub and sort of break down the stats. We've got a few of the stats you want to look at here. So we're in the data hub. I've selected a few to look at. So we're going to start off with we'll go with the defending, because it's a very big part of this formation, obviously, with that 5 at the back. But if we have a look, this is obviously for PSV. Conceded per game was actually 0.44. Expected was 0.45. So we're actually looking at, you know, a very, very, very good stat there. We're not expected to concede a goal, which is very good to achieve, and it's actually below 0.5. And don't get me wrong, this formation is very defensive. Like, obviously it's 5 at the back. The midfielders can also defend as well. But as you can see by some of the games, we do score goals as well. And that's simply, by the way, how I'll set up this tactic. It's fluid counter-attacking. It's literally, as soon as you get the ball back, you fly at them. And it works really well. But overall, these two stats are the only ones I'm really interested in. I mean, conceding less than half a goal a game, say half a goal, is very, very good, and not something that a lot of tactics can replicate. I'm going to the attacking, so we're actually expected to score. Now, this will be lower slightly in the Liverpool one, because obviously there are a few teams in this division that are weak, so I'm going to be brutally honest about that. We are actually expected to score 3 goals a game, so I mean, to be honest, it's looking good, right? I mean, we're expected to score 3 goals a game and not concede a goal, purely based off stats in this division. And honestly, we dominated the league. We did dominate the league, but that is just a pure fact. And the pass completion now, I'm going to have a look at as well, and 94.55%, which is very, very good. And to be honest, I know you can say, you know, like, PSV got a great team in the league, good chance of winning the title. Yes, but they're not a clear one-horse race. It's not like I'm doing it with PSG. Same as I didn't do it with, like, in the Premier League, I've chosen a team which in real life aren't actually the favourites to win the title. It'd be Man City, because they've won the most recent amount over recent years. But nevertheless, a very, very good stat output for this season at all. Then look at attack and efficiency. Obviously, we manage more shots per match than the average in the rest of the league. And obviously, we are sort of looking very good here as well. We're a lot more clinical, and that is one thing I'll say with this formation. You do get a lot of chances, but obviously common sense is the more clinical your strikers, the better chance you've got at, you know, winning games. It's just facts, really. I've included the pass map just to have a little look to see where most of the balls come through, and a lot of it is actually, quite a bit of it does seem to be distributed around the back line and also this midfield area. Now, you're not going to be playing fluent champagne possession tiki-taka football with this formation. This formation, as I've said, is literally about absorbing pressure and then going forward with it and just counter-attacking. There is a bit of pressing involved as well, I'm not going to lie, but to be honest, a lot of teams are able to play this way. But obviously, I've done it with Liverpool, which we'll get into in a second, and they don't play five at the back, that they haven't done, but it's like, you can use it with this team, so they've got the players to do it. As long as you've got like a decent back line and, you know, a couple of decent midfielders that are able to sort of go up and down the pitch, then it's usable with most teams. But overall, you can see here, obviously, the players shown on the pitch were slight to be beholden in the passing department, making a total of 755 passes. Overall, though, it's not really a big thing with this. We're not expected to be making thousands of passes a game with this tactic at all. But I feel like I've explained that quite well in terms of stats. I hope so anyway. A very, very good season, obviously, winning the league, winning all these cups as well. We were the best for goals scored, best for goals conceded, only actually conceding 15 goals, which is honestly incredible. We did concede a few more in the Liverpool one, I will be honest. I'm actually quite disciplined as well, which is not something that I usually implement in my gameplay. But let's go over to the Liverpool save and compare how we done. And then after we've looked into the stats with that one, we're going to do a full tactic breakdown. So, we are into the Liverpool save now, and this season did go well as well. A few more goals conceded there. We did actually win the league by quite a lot of points, to be honest with you. No signings were made on this save either, just to clarify. We also managed to win the Champions League against Real Madrid, and also the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. Lost in the fifth round against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and you know, it's quite nice to beat Real Madrid, obviously recreating that fixture in real life that did happen. It didn't go Liverpool's way, unfortunately for them. But a very good season in terms of results. Mohamed Salah, obviously, with 42 goals. This team is literally lights out, I'm going to be honest. But I done it with this team because I didn't want to do it with the clear favourite, but I wanted to do it with a team that is good enough to win the league and stuff like this. And I also wanted to prove that you can play this five at the back system without having to have a team that is seen as like a negative team. Like, yes, this would work with Burnley, it would work with a lot of teams, but you can play this way with a real good quality team and still get the results and not really affect your goal scoring either. You still get plenty of goals. So we'll have a look at the schedule, as we always do, just to see, you know, some outline results, see if we got battered, see if we battered anyone, and then we're going to go into the data hub, break down the, you know, the stats of this season, and then I think it's time to break down the actual tactic. So then, this is the schedule. I have also got the stats for this one. I'm the stat man here, trust me, the stat man. So with this one, we played 67 games, including friendlies, all cup competitions, league games. Now, we won 58 and lost or drew 9, giving us an 86.57 win ratio compared to the Ajax save, which is 86.89. So this is more of an 87% win rate, and I guess they're pretty much, they are the same. If you round it up, they are both 87%. So this is, it is going to be in the title. It is roughly about an 87% win rate formation, which is very high. You got to think, you know, I mean, that's the majority of the games. It's up there with some of the best tactics I've seen. Now, obviously, you've got to also understand that if you do this with a team that are fighting relegation, if I'd done this with Norwich, I wouldn't win as many. But if you are doing a save of a similar standard team, then you can expect to do this in your first season. But obviously, if you are doing it with a weaker team, give yourself a few seasons to just develop the team a bit, and then you will get to this standard. But as you can see here, we actually started off incredibly hot here. Almost, 1, 2, 3 months without actually drawing a game or losing. We then fall to Man City, which obviously are a good team in the game. We bounced back against Norwich. Couple of losses here on the bounce, actually. Villarreal and Newcastle, so quite disappointing there. But we bounced back in a big way, actually going... wow, several months there without actually losing the game. We seem to have no trouble in the Champions League really getting through the group. We battered Derby in the final or quarterfinals, but obviously Derby aren't a great team at the moment, unfortunately for them. Beat Leicester in the semi-finals, both legs as well, and we progressed through the cups with ease, to be honest with you, until this area here. So we beat Norwich, actually went to a replay, and we won the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal, but then we did fall to them in the 5th round of the FA Cup. We progressed through to the Champions League, beat Villarreal in the first leg, lose to them in the second leg, couple of 0-0s there as well against both Manchester sides. But Champions League, we actually drew 0-0 to Man City in the first leg, and then we beat them 4-0 in the second leg. And obviously you see here that we beat Real Madrid actually quite comfortably in the final there, in a 3-0 win. And honestly, it's a very, very good season again. The results we've had with this tactic have been pretty much flawless. Obviously, we achieved, if you're talking number of trophies, we achieved more at Ajax, but the league is slightly easier, and the trophies over there are slightly easier to win. No offence to any fans that do watch that league. But let's go over to the data hub then. And we'll quickly go to team performance. So we're going to have a look at the attacking first. We obviously expect to score 2.5 goals a game. So, you know, if we say 2 goals a game, that's still very good, but it's more on the upper hand, so we're going to say 3, because you always round up when you do this. Pass completion, again, is absolutely great. The shots on target ratio isn't the best, because I do let the players shoot when they get a chance. I don't tell them to work the perfect chance in this tactic of mine. I think a lot of my tactics, I just sort of let them shoot when they feel that it's a good option to shoot. So very good attack in there. If we go into the defending stats, again, we're expected to concede less than a goal a game, which is the main thing I was trying to implement in this tactic. It's the one thing I wanted to create, was a tactic where you're pretty much comfortable that if you are going to concede, it's going to be 1, but majority of games are going to be a nice clean sheet, and we managed to do that. A bit more in the Ajax save, but also in this one as well. Obviously, in this team, you've got the likes of Van Dijk, Gomez, Kanate, Matip as well. So very good defenders. And if we look at the pass map, is going to be very similar to what was at Ajax. Has actually a lot less passes in this team, 571. But as I said, this is not about a passing tactic. This is more absorbing pressure, counter-attacking, and not necessarily stealing and nicking games, but you will get the odd game where you maybe don't even really dominate, but you just go out there, you counter-attack, get the goal, and that's done. So, to be honest, I'm very happy with how this has turned out, this tactic. And we look at the passing, lots of passes, accurate passing. We're actually second from top there with Man City, who obviously are more of a possession-based team. But to be honest with you, also their clinical shooting, we're actually at the top, which is very good to see. But overall, a very, very good tactic. And now I can't wait to actually break this down. If I go into tactics now, we can have a little look for ourselves. I'm going to keep the players in. Actually, no, I'll get rid of the players because there's so much on the screen otherwise. But I'll do that. So if I... Where is it? Where did I see that? Clear. There we go. Clear entire team selection. Right, so now I can actually break down the tactic for you. Just to let you know, this will be in the description. So instead of copying this, you know, it will take you a while to keep pausing. Just download the tactic, and if you want to tweak it, you can tweak it. Before we get into this, though, and break it down, please do leave the video a like, drop a comment below, and also please do subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I'm going to start premiering? Put these videos on Premiere is what I'm going to do. So when I do upload, you'll get a notification, because then, you know, if I don't upload for a few days and you think I've gone like ghost, I haven't. I've just been working on new videos. But let's get into this. So obviously if you look at the formation overall, it is a 5-4-1. Obviously, you got your 5 here, then you got your 4, then you got your 1 striker. Now, we're going to start off by doing what I usually do. We're going to do the player roles last off, but the mentality is positive right from the rip. Obviously, you can tweak this however you feel that you want to approach the game. In possession, the attack and width is wide, a step up from the fairly wide. We've actually gone quite wide with this, and it didn't exploit me. It was a very, very good way to play. The approach play, I've got nothing. I've not got pass into space on. I've just got play out from defence, because if we do win the ball back, or like the keeper has it, I don't want him just to boost it up the pitch and then lose possession. So I like playing out, play out from the back type of thing and then progressing forward up the pitch. The pass and directness is actually on much shorter. The shortest you can get it. I didn't want this to be a long ball counter-attack. I wanted it to be more of like an elegant, fast-paced counter-attack, which is what it ended up being. The tempo is on slightly higher, not on much higher, so this is quite good for fitness. A lot of my tactics and a lot of tactics out there are all focused on much higher, but I lowered this one down and it didn't affect us, so it's better because your players won't be getting as tired all the time. And if you are obviously in these, these big teams and you're in all these cups, it does get hard to manage the squad. I've got nothing selected on here, whipped crosses in, but nothing selected here because I sort of let the attacking players do what they want. And that, again, hasn't come back to bite me, so I prefer just leaving it blank. I've got play for set pieces isn't on. I've got run at defence and be expressive, because basically, the thing with this is, I like him to run at defence, especially once I've got the ball, because it just triggers stuff. It's intimidating, some backlines aren't very strong, and, it's just a good thing to have on, because it puts a lot of weak defences under pressure, as does be more expressive. I like my players to be more expressive, have a bit more freedom. Sorry, I just know I hit my mic. Have a bit more freedom and things like that. So, it's good to have on the players. If you got players that have got flair, have got skill, are quick, this works even better. So definitely something I'd have on. In transition, we've got the counter press on and counter. This one's more important, just because this is a counter attacking formation. We are pretty much set up to, when we haven't got the ball, I do want to press, but it's sort of like, when I watched a few of these games, and when you got the 5 at the back, although you're pressing, you've still got so many people back, as you'll see when it comes to the player roles. The goalkeeper in possession, I actually clicked the wrong one. It's actually distribute quickly for this one, because obviously, if we win the ball back quickly, let's say the goalkeeper comes to the edge of the box, collects it, we want the goalkeeper to distribute the ball as quick as possible, because this is all about counter-attacking, making them feel under pressure when they have just lost the ball, or any occasion really. So definitely have that on distribute quickly. I don't know why that was on slow pace down, so have that on distribute quickly for this tactic. Distribute to area/player. We've got it anywhere across the back line is fine. I don't like to play long, so you saw there with the with the shortness of the passing. This isn't it's not tiki-taka, but also I don't want it to be long ball, so keep the passes short and sweet. Roll it out as well when you can do so. Out of possession, we've got the standard line of engagement and the standard line of defence as well. Standard width as well, so nothing too important when it comes to the shape. No special high line on any of them at all. We've got the tighter marking on, and the trigger press is on much more often, and everything else is left blank. So nothing too special in that page, to be honest with you. But let's get into one of the most important things of this tactic, which you definitely need, is going to be the player roles. So let's get into that now. Player roles then, very important part of the tactic. We're actually going to start off with the goalkeeper. So he is on the sweeper keeper support role, which basically, I will just read this out, it basically means that he'll stray outside the penalty box and look to play counter attack and passes, which is exactly what you want in this. It's very good because obviously if you got him on attack, he can sometimes be a bit overcommitted, but on the support role, he just sort of sweeps, and a lot of keepers are capable of playing sweeper, so if you've got one that can, definitely have this on. Shorter passing on as well, and it's all about just sort of collecting the ball and getting it back out to our players to work our way up the pitch. So nothing too special about that position. Moving on, we'll go with the right centre-back, who is actually under a wide centre-back on the defend role. His trigger press is on balanced, mark tighter and tackle harder are on. I've got him on stay wider because obviously you don't want all the centre-backs to be grouped together. You want to have a bit of width in there, because obviously our width was quite narrow, so if we had them all grouped together, it would just be like a bit of an imbalance. So that guy is on stay wider. Definitely recommend doing that, and take fewer risks as well is selected. Everything else is pretty much as it is. Shorter passing as well for him. Moving on to the centre of the centre-backs, who is literally just a central defender on defend, is on, again, the balanced trigger press, tackle harder, and shorter passing, and take fewer risks again. The reason why I didn't have like a more of an attacking centre back is because this tactic was purely about finding a tactic that is great for defending, but then focusing, sort of making the defence, just especially the centre backs, just be defenders, and then the wing backs can get forward, of course, and also it's more focusing on the attacking players getting you the goals, which they did for me. So this is what you want for the central defender. Moving on to the left hand side of the back three, the same for the right. You want him on stay wider. Because basically what this does is, I'll explain it better. So the fullback, so the left back, which would be obviously Robertson, the right back, which would be Trent, when they go up, if they get caught out of possession, then one of these centre backs can just cover. Keep hitting my mic, sorry. Can keep covering, keep going out. And if you don't have that on, then there'll be gaps and they won't go out wide. But if you've got it on, as soon as one of our fullbacks pushes up, they make a mistake possibly, we've got cover there, and that's the best thing to have. His on the trigger press is balanced and shorter passing and take fewer risks as well. So that's what you want to do for the back three centre backs. Moving on to the right back, which obviously would be Trent's position in this save, you want a wing back on automatic, which basically means that they do a bit of everything. I'll give you the full description. It basically means that they switch automatically between defending, supporting and attacking. So they're not completely attacking, they will defend as well. They just do a bit of everything, which is what you want. I've got him on stay wider and run wide with the ball because I do want the width in the team, and obviously fullback's the best way to get that. So a very, very good option to have. And when obviously I was kind of blessed on this save because I've got Trent and Robertson, two of the best attacking fullbacks in the world. But obviously pretty much anyone, you can let them go forward. Obviously some teams have got better fullbacks than the others, just how it is. The trigger press is unbalanced, tackle harder is selected, shorter passing, cross from the byline into the centre, dribble more and shoot less often. Just because I don't want him to be shooting. I'd rather him get up there and put a great ball into the box. Again, quite similar on the left-hand side. It's the same role, so it's the automatic wing-back role. We've got him on stay wider, run wide with the ball, balance trigger press, tackle harder, shorter passing, cross from byline into the centre, shoot less often, and also dribble more. And this worked very well. I mean, they got involved in the play, but they were also very good at defending, hence the amount of clean sheets we did actually keep, and the amount of games that we did manage to win. Now, in the midfield here, this is where I did play about with it, because there's several roles in midfield you can have, right? But for this to work flawlessly, I wanted one box to box because I want someone that can defend but also can help this front three, because at the end of the day they've got quite a big job on their hands. I know the wing backs push forward as well, but we don't have a cam really, do we? But the best way I've found this work is to have two box-to-box midfielders. It's the best way to have it, and the only way, to be honest. But you want him on the support role, again, just because then he will support a bit of everyone, to be honest. And you want the trigger press. I got him on less often just because he's got so much to do anyway. And to be honest, it just works the way that I've had it. I did play about with this, so I tried having like a Metzala. I tried switching it up, and that's actually the first few games. I think it might have been the Ajax. The first couple we lost or drew. Is when I was testing that, and the box-to-box, two box-to-boxes works perfect in this tactic. I've got mark tighter on, tackle harder, stay wider, shorter passing, shoot less often, and also take fewer risks. Moving on to the right-hand box-to-box. We'll go on to him. He again is on the support role. We've got him on stay wider as well. Tackle harder, mark tighter, shorter passing, shoot less often, and take fewer risks. So the same as the other guy. And basically having these two box-to-boxes is brilliant because they do go forward, they do go back. So at some points in the game you could have him going up here, but then if they're countering us somehow, he can drop back here, and obviously, it's all about helping out the team. And when you've got two of these doing it, and also when I tell them to get wider as well, they can obviously rotate over here, and they're all over the shop, and it's really good because they sweep up loose balls, and with the high press, it's really good to have. Moving on to the left-hand side, which obviously would be Mane for us, we've got the inverted winger on the attack role. Because these, they don't need to defend. We've got enough people defending. The front three are all about getting the goals for me. The trigger press is on less often, and we've got him on stay wider, get further forward, cut inside with the ball, short passing, take more risks as well, because I want him to be able to take more risks. I don't want him to feel like he's in the wrong if he loses the ball all the time. Obviously, it's an issue if he does it all the time, but we've got enough players to bail him out if he does lose the ball. And obviously, when you've got quality wingers, you want them to have that freedom. Same with Salah, same role. We've got less often on the press, get further forward, stay wider, cut inside with the ball, short pass him, and take more risks as well. And this worked really well, this front three. And you don't have to have a world-class front three. You could be doing it with quite an average front three, and as long as they link up together, you're going to see results. It's just how it is. Moving on to the last player, which is going to be an advanced forward, attack and roll, obviously less often on the press. We've got him on shorter passing, dribble more, shoot more often, and take more risks. Now, the shoot more often, a lot of people don't actually like, because they will shoot when pretty much they get the ball, when they get a chance. But for me, it's important because I want the front three to just make sure they get shots on top, like shots on the goal. Like, this formation is not about creating the perfect, beautiful goal to watch. It's about getting goals, getting chances, and this works brilliantly. But that is going to be it for the entire tactic breakdown. Obviously a lot of talk in there, but if you guys do want the easier option, just make sure you click the download link. It's on Mediafire, and it's just easier because you can just load the tactic in. And then if you wish to tweak the mentality between games, I would recommend it. And obviously, you know, if you think something isn't working, then let me know in the comments as well, because I do like to hear from you guys how you think obviously the tactic works, if you think it's good, if you think it's bad. But I've also narrowed it down from doing 3 saves to 2 saves as a test, in hope that this gives me more of an opportunity to talk about the actual tactic, which I feel like I've described quite well this video. But if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please leave it a like, drop a comment below on possibly any other rebuilds, a big one, any other rebuilds you want to see me do, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it enough, please do leave a like on the video, and please do subscribe, turn on notifications for plenty more uploads. Underneath my camera, I've personally selected a video which I really think you'll like. And also up next on the other side is a video that YouTube think you might like from my channel. So please do check them out, guys. Also, if you do want to keep in touch with me, be sure to follow my socials. I've got my Instagram and my Twitter above. I love to interact with you guys. But last but not least, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.